there are 5 players on the team that are from Texas. A couple live in Houston now. How do you guys, Michael as captain and Bruce as coach, how do you guys deal with that? Because it's kind of a life or death situation with those guys and their families, being away from their families.
Yeah, certainly our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in Texas who's been affected by this hurricane and everything that's gone on in the last few days. Some of the images and videos that have come out of Texas have been heartbreaking, and for all of us now, as human beings, as fellow Americans, to find the right ways to show support and help that part of the country as they find the right ways to move on from this. That's very important, and obviously in our own very little way, playing and representing the country in a really strong and proud way on Friday night is a little part of that.
You broke into the national team as a teenager, and looking at what Christian has done, could you give your impressions about what he has done in the short time he has been with the team, and has he surprised you in any ways?
He has surprised me for sure, just in terms of how good a player he is, and ultimately how quickly he's been able to find the right ways to come into our team and make a real impact even at this level. I watched him. I can remember watching him with the under-17s with at the World Cup with Richie, and you could see his talent, his ability. That was so clear. But you never know for sure how quickly some of the other stuff comes along. And from the first camp that he's come in with our team, he has found a really good way to fit into the group. You can see what a good kid he is, how much he loves to play, how much he enjoys the time with our group. And as Bruce said, we want to put him in the best possible condition so that he can play, enjoy himself, and ultimately make the biggest difference for our team. And that's on everybody to make sure that we can continue to find the right ways for that.
Michael, you guys at Toronto have found a real consistency with getting winning results, and your national team has found consistency in 2017. What are the keys to that consistency?
For me, the biggest thing is always the mentality of your group, and having a group of guys together with the staff, with the coaches, that together feel like they're in something together, and it's not just a bunch of guys who come in and who are looking to do their own thing and who only care about themselves and what is good for them as individuals. The only chance you have is to have again a team full of guys and people around it that understand that everybody has to give a little bit of something. Everybody has to give a little bit of what they are to make everybody else around them better. And when you can create this mentality, whether it's with the national team, I think Bruce and his staff have done a really good job of getting that part back to where it needed to be. Or whether it's in Toronto over the course of a few years, where your core group of guys remains the same, and you're allowed to add the right pieces from there. Then things can grow in a real way, and you understand that not everything is always going to go your way. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be difficult moments. Nothing is ever going to get handed to you. But again, when you have a group of guys who understand that, who embrace that, who come in every day ready to leave everything else on the outside and give everything they have of themselves to make the group better, then that's when it starts to get fun. That's when you have a team that can hold up in the toughest of moments, a team that over a longer period of time can find the consistency that you're talking about in terms of winning and winning in big moments, and that process never ends. And so that's the fun part.
Some of the guys who play around you in the central midfield, you look at Darlington and Christian and Kellen, they're younger guys who've played in big games and had big moments, but it's at that point in the qualifying cycle where things kind of change, so close to a World Cup personally and for a team. How do things kind of change now, and how does the mentality change for those guys and younger guys who are trying to kind of make that push for the next summer?
Yeah, you get to this point in qualifying, and it's all there. Bruce joked with me yesterday. We've gotten this far. We've turned it around in the right ways, and we've got to make sure we finish the job. Like all the work that we've put in this year was for these next 4 games, to make sure that we can find the right ways in the biggest moments when the lights come on brightest to make sure that we get the job done. And we're going to need every single guy. We're going to, obviously, we understand the challenges of playing at home versus going on the road in CONCACAF, and we're willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that in 5 or 6 weeks' time we've punched our ticket to Russia. And I think we have a group of guys who are excited, who realize that the path of this last year has made us stronger and better, and now it's on us to make sure that we can finish the job and allow ourselves the chance to look forward to playing at a World Cup next summer.
First, Michael, with how you guys are doing with Toronto FC and the great season that you guys are having, where do you assess your level of form and compare it to the levels of form that you feel that you've had the best in your career? Do you feel like you're right there in terms of this leadership and just level of play, even if it may not show up in goals and assists, but just those intangibles, those winning intangibles?
I think that I continue to get better as I get older. I love to play, I love to train, I love to compete, and ultimately, when those are your starting points, then it doesn't feel like work. It's never a burden for me to wake up in the morning and go into training, because it's genuinely what I love doing. And I try to live the right way. I look after myself. I live my life in a way that I hope means that I have my best years in front of me, and I will continue to try to push myself, challenge myself to improve, look at things that need to be better, and ultimately take everything that I do on the field and in a team and allow it to count for more and hold up in the biggest and best moments.
Michael, obviously the way last year ended with MLS Cup, the shootout loss, and the qualifiers, the way they went, it was a rough end to 2016. What were your thoughts going into that offseason, and what could be in 2017? And could you have envisioned things kind of playing out the way they're playing out right now with TFC top of the league and undefeated U.S. national team?
Yeah, I did envision it this way. When you go through moments where things don't go your way, there's no time to feel sorry for yourself. There's no time to stop. We had conversations in Toronto at our training ground the morning after we lost in the final, and when you looked around, you could see in guys' eyes that we were ready we wanted the season to begin the next day, and there was a similar feeling in January camp when we started with this group, which was just we understood that we had let a few things get away from us at the end of the year, and there was big motivation to make sure that we put things right. we all understand that getting to a World Cup is pass or fail, and at the end, it's doesn't matter who the coach is. It doesn't nothing else matters. It's our responsibility as players to step on the field and make sure that we find the right ways to do whatever it takes to qualify. And obviously, again, you guys have heard me talk a lot about the way that Bruce and his staff came in and from the beginning found the right ways to set the tone, to make sure that all the little things that had come down a few notches, we're back to where they needed to be. And I think the group responded to that in a really good way. And as the year has gone on an individual, on a personal level, I've just tried to, essentially to take it 90 minutes at a time, whatever team I'm playing for, and in that moment to leave everything else out and focus on whatever I can do to make guys around me better and to give the team the best chance to win. And the chance to captain the national team, to captain my club, it's a huge honor. And it's been a good year so far, but I also understand that we've not done anything yet. We've not done anything with the national team yet in terms of qualifying. Obviously, the Gold Cup was a big moment for us, and we've not done anything with Toronto yet. And so the biggest games are still to come. The big prizes are still coming, and as long as that's the case, then I'm gonna keep going and going.